back to another episode of the Rick and Danny Show. It's a pleasure to have you back.
It's great being here, Rick.
Brenna is shoving microphones closer. I think her issue is I'm too quiet and you're too loud, is what I'm told.
Okay. See, I need to back up. Rick needs to get closer. Yeah. So
is that right, Brenna?
That would be correct.
Okay. I figured that's what it seems
I can't control how loud I am, apparently.
Okay. So what's new with you, Dr. K?
Well, I think busy time at CSNF, right, Rick? You've been pretty busy and seeing a lot of patients, and the Beaches office is doing very well. We're busy. And
yeah, you guys definitely seem to always have a full schedule.
And it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, no, it seems like you guys are, every time I talk to one of you guys over there, it's like running around real quick.
There's good personalities over there. We keep it keep it light because it can be kind of heavy at times.
Well, I mean, you have a big personality, but I don't think there's any bigger personality in our company than your partner down there, Alicia Sugarman.
No, there's not.
Brenna agrees. Yeah.
She's got enough.
I agree with love.
I have one day.
No,
it's all
one
love.
day
she's amazing.
where
What I'm saying is she has enough personality for the group.
Oh yeah.
So.
And I look forward to it on Tuesday. I have my day of rest on Monday, and then by Tuesday, we're back. We're going at it.
I think
talking about everything.
I think I know why Danny wanted to do the podcast so much. He felt so repressed over there because Alicia is such the dominant personality that he wanted to get me involved so I would shut up and he could be the dominant personality on the podcast. That's what I'm hearing.
He's a dominant personality, but you don't expect it from him.
No.
You don't expect it.
He walks softly but carries a big stick.
Okay. All right.
Whatever that expression is.
Yeah.
Sounds accurate.
Yeah. You might think I don't have an opinion about it, but I do.
Yeah.
I just don't always express it, but when I do, it comes out comes out a little rough around the edges.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do,
not rough around the edges, just passionate.
Passionate about it, yeah.
Passionate,
that's true,
very
actually.
Loud into the microphone.
Well, let me back up here a bit.
No,
but yeah,
I turned you down.
We had some conversation about our coffee business and in the family. We talked about that on a prior episode, and I was pretty passionate about my opinion about where it should be.
Nice. So, I actually was listening back to that episode.
And didn't get great feedback.
The human being is not happening?
Well, it's happening. It's just, where is it happening? That's the question.
I was listening back to that, and I, at the end, when I was like, oh, like human being, it's actually pretty funny. I felt like kind of an idiot.
Human being.
It's one of those, you just got to say it out loud.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't work if you say it in your head.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I took a minute, but.
Yeah, things happen.
Yeah. So they didn't go for it where you wanted it to be?
At
all?
We have. Yeah. I thought we decided, but we may not have decided. That's the.
Well, I think the question is you decided, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
That doesn't mean the group decided on that. Yeah. But what I decided, I thought was the appropriate plan.
What does Ethan want?
The best plan. Well, he doesn't like coffee. Well, actually, he does. Actually, he will drink coffee if it has a lot of sweet cream in it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which I don't want to give to him because it's just a bunch of...
It seems like. I mean, he's a very calm kid, but why tempt fate?
He doesn't need. Arya needs coffee in the morning. She is not a morning person. Ethan is up I mean, he'll sleep till I think he wakes up at 6:15, and when he gets up, he's good to go. The opposite of Arya. Arya is just
both my boys are 6 o'clock, beating down the doors,
right?
Ready to. There's no lag time.
Mm-hmm.
They're always on. Either on or they're off. It's a 10 or a 0.
Well, you're in that stage where it's the real early morning still. You don't get that 8-9 a.m.
No,
sleep.
God no. I don't even know what that is.
We don't. Ethan doesn't sleep that late, but Arya can sleep till 9 a.m.
Really?
Yeah, she can sleep.
Now, do you let her on the weekends?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
I wonder if it's a man-woman thing.
I used to sleep pretty late, Rick. I don't know.
I'm just asking.
I don't know.
Thomas is up at probably like 5:30 every day, no matter what day it is. So then when I wake up at like 8, he's like, well, geez, half the day's already gone. I've already done like 27 different things. I'm like, I'm getting up at 5:30 on a Saturday.
I'm up early no matter what.
Yeah, it might be a personality type, I think,
Maybe.
because you're more type A.
Yeah, very.
Hethel's more type A. Ethan's a little, well,
I think I'm pretty type A. I
Yeah.
just like to sleep.
you just like to sleep. Yeah.
See, I think you're like an A-.
Oh! I'll take an A minus.
Gotta get a little more pride and wake up early, Brenna. A little
It's not
early
gonna
ride.
happen. It's just not
Come
gonna
on.
happen.
Yeah, before kids, there were many days where now my wife gets up, my wife can sleep in, and I'd be like, oh, I've already done this, and that. Welcome to the day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. What's it? The old Marine saying?
Oh.
We've accomplished more by 5 a.m. than
Yeah.
you'll do in the whole day, or something like that.
Like I'll get up and I'll just be wanting to like sit and drink my coffee and like eat breakfast, and Tom's like, all right, well, let's get our day started. And I'm like, I just got out of bed.
Let me veg out a bit
And
here.
he's like, well, we gotta run errands and we gotta do this, and he's like pacing,
Yeah.
and I'm like, now the dog paces too. The
Yeah.
two of them are just pacing.
Yeah.
It's too much. Should have stayed in bed. Should have pretended I was still asleep.
Yeah.
You need the combo of both personalities.
Yes.
But then you have that kind of passive aggressive, oh, you're finally up.
Yes.
If you sleep too late, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
Oh, you stayed up a little too late last night,
Yeah.
did you? Yeah. See, I don't want to have any of that. So I know, like, if I'm sleeping on the weekend and it's 8 o'clock, I better get up because I'm gonna get some crap if I'm not up.
So you've learned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, you were watching a show late again, weren't you? Oh, yeah.
That's how on the weekend Tom was like, don't stay up too late. I'm like, well, you're gonna be, regardless. If I go to bed with you, or you're gonna wake up at 5:30 and expect me to also be up at 5:30.
See, my wife goes to bed before me and wakes up after me. Usually, well, kids obviously not the same, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's good that you could be ready for them in the morning.
Ready for them?
Well, you're brewing your coffee. Your coffee's
Yeah.
the fumes are.
They don't want dad though. They want mom.
Yeah.
I open the door
I
and they're
got
just
that.
like punching the nuts. Where's mom? Out of the way, old
Mom.
Out of the way, old man.
Yeah.
Why are you in the way?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I get a lot of that. But it's
That's
fine.
fair. That's
I'm sure
fair.
they love me. Deep down.
They do.
Okay.
They do.
It's like, yeah, you know.
I'm kidding.
No, you're not wrong.
I saw the family photos.
I'm kidding.
They must love
I
you.
mean, they can be
There's
drugged.
love.
They can be drugged to look happy for like
Right.
with dad for like
Of
a
course.
day.
Yeah, you did a good job with those photos, Brenna. Really,
Yeah, there was a lot of
really
fun.
good photoshopping.
Really portrayed a happy family.
One year for Christmas photos, we'll just take a picture of RJ punching me in the nuts. I
Yeah,
think that'll
yeah.
be-
Yeah.
I think next year I need to capture more of just behind the scenes of when Rick just has his "I'm so done" face.
It's they talk about resting B face.
Yeah.
I think I have resting over. I don't know what the right word is. Resting over it face.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that's just probably resting B face.
No, it's different. There's a difference between like B face implies like you're angry at the world.
Mad at something, right?
Now I'm not mad. It's just
So
like,
you just have resting suburban dad face.
yeah,
Okay.
just resting, soul sucking. Life has been taken from
Nothing.
me.
I have nothing to look forward
I
to.
have-
Shark eyes. Shark eyes. There's nothing there.
My life is just Will Ferrell and old school. What are you guys doing this weekend? Oh, I'm going to the Home Depot. We're gonna take out some new bath tiles. Yeah, it'd be a pretty full day. Pretty crazy.
Got my
day.
lunch planned out, my dinner. You know, we might eat out tonight. I
Yeah,
don't know.
we might eat out at 5 p.m. because that's the only time we can safely go out with children without interrupting every diner.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
encounter.
That's funny. That's a good point.
Yeah. Do you have some reactions there?
We do
I
have.
don't
We
know, I
have
feel like
a
I just
couple.
reacted pretty hard.
Yeah, we're gonna get
I
into
think we
some.
could get you a little more riled up.
Sure. Thanks to Dunkin', America's #1 coffee.
Best cold brew in the area, right, Rick?
Yeah,
There
exactly.
you go.
I like it.
And I've.
But soon to come, human being.
Now the real question is,
Brenda's not convinced.
will human beings sponsor the show
Yeah.
with coffee?
Yes, if it's present in Jacksonville. Yes.
Why I thought that was. Isn't this all we've been talking about? Is you bring it's going to be in
Yes.
Jacksonville?
Well, that was part of the argument. was
Oh, it might not go to
it might
Jacksonville.
not go.
Oh, a
Yeah.
second franchise in the O-Town?
Maybe.
Well, Duncan, you're still in if you're
Yeah.
interested. So it looks like we've lost our first sponsor before we even had it.
No,
So.
not lost yet. I'll divulge more as we go here. It's not all lost yet.
Sounds pretty non-committal to me.
It's not lost.
And you get that look on your face that just.
I'm a little defeated.
Yep,
but
screaming. I was just gonna say screams defeat a little bit.
Yeah, look, you got it too.
But
that's the same face I have.
I will say it's
there.
not lost yet. So we'll see. We'll see.
Good choice not to film this episode, Brenna, because we're just two beaten down old men.
I know.
Yeah.
Just no happiness here.
He's really sad.
As I look at my article to talk about neoadjuvant immunotherapy and get Rick's reaction. Should we do it? Let's do it.
Sure.
Do it.
All right.
We
haven't done this in a while.
We need like an intro music.
Rick's reactions.
It has
Rants
to
or
be
reactions? Rants?
Rants?
Rants and reactions.
I think it depends on the day. I think we're in a rant day.
Rant.
We'll see. It depends on the article.
You just
depends on the
just took a really deep breath before you said that.
Just gearing up emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually.
All right. Well, I printed out just the abstract, so if you ask me any details, I am not going to be able to provide you that. Rick, I'm sorry.
Sounds great.
But this is, again,
hey, that's more show prep than I did.
New England Journal of Medicine article.
You showed up on time, kind of.
It did. Then got pulled away.
What?
And so we're talking about melanoma. And it's questioning whether, so in advanced melanoma, that patients with advanced disease, and we're talking about stage 3 or 4, and 4 disease would be those who we can surgically remove their metastasis. Stage 4 means they have a metastasis somewhere. So in stage 3 or 4 melanoma, if you can resect their primary disease and potentially a site of metastasis, the standard of care would be either giving them adjuvant or postoperative immunotherapy, or potentially even BRAF inhibition, which is they're oral drugs which block a protein called BRAF. And those studies have been shown to improve, at a minimum, disease or event-free survival, meaning a longer period of time without melanoma, lower risk of recurrence. And this article was investigating whether giving immunotherapy before surgical resection of the melanoma is at all beneficial compared to just giving it afterward. So they randomized in a phase 2 open label study patients who had stage 3B, I believe. Let me just look here. 3B or 4C. Well,
2-4C.
2-4C, exactly. Melanoma, who were surgical candidates to receive preoperative pembrolizumab, which is Keytruda, 3 infusions. That's given every 3 weeks, followed by postoperative Keytruda for another 15 infusions. I believe that's for a total year duration, because that's the standard, is to give it for 1 year, or just postoperative Keytruda for the year duration. So 3 infusions before, and then finished it after, or all given after surgery. And what they found was that the event-free survival at 2 years, event, what did they say here? Event usually means, event is defined as usually a recurrence or death or something else. They list a number of things. But the event-free survival with the preoperative Keytruda group was 72% at 2 years compared to 49% at 2 years with the just postoperative arm, which was a little lower than I thought it would be. Although I don't know the breakdown of how many stage 4s they had in this.
Yeah, I think that would be the key, right, is to see
in this group.
Assuming
because for stage 3, it's higher than that for sure with the adjuvant.
And you would think, I mean, assuming they balance the arms with patient demographics.
Right.
I guess the question I would have is, I mean, to me, the benefits of doing neoadjuvant therapy in most disease sites is you're trying to say this is the patient's best chance to probably complete the neoadjuvant therapy prior to a surgery that may lead them, with a recovery time and a hospital stay, or if they have complications from surgery, it can delay them to getting the adjuvant therapy they need. So I would wonder, is that, because biologically, I wouldn't think of any reason why that event-free survival would be so significantly different unless
right.
the folks in the neoadjuvant arm were more likely to just get more immunotherapy because they don't have the delays. That would be to me the interesting thing to know. Right? I mean, can you think of a biological, what would be a logical explanation for why it would be that different between the two arms?
Yeah, and I was just seeing to try to answer the question if they report. I wish I printed out the whole article, but to see if there was any differences with those who had surgery and completed the postoperative Keytruda or had any significant delay in starting the Keytruda postoperatively, because that would make a difference too, right? It does say they gave them up to 84 days postoperatively to start the Keytruda. Right. So about 3 months or so.
Right, but I'm just thinking if you have a primary and metastatic sites and you're going through like multiple surgeries.
Right. I mean, we saw, and this kind of goes off of what we reviewed a trial that looked at giving preoperative immunotherapy in early stage colorectal cancer and it having just amazing response rates. I think the earlier you give it, it seems like responses are higher. And that's even true. Esophageal reported I think it was a phase 3 trial for esophageal with giving preoperative immunotherapy in those with microsatellite instability, and saw not as high as colorectal cancer, but saw very high response rates in early stage disease preoperatively. So I think early stage, you would expect that the response rates would be higher. But why would this lead to such a difference in event-free survival in later stage disease? I can't explain that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think...
Other than a delay in getting back onto immunotherapy.
Well, I think that's, to me, what it would probably be, right? Like, I think that's why we, especially in GI cancers, not necessarily melanoma, but there's a bigger push to do everything up front. And I think the main reason being that you're just more likely as the patient to complete all the chemo, complete any chemo radiation before surgery than you are after surgery when you're recovering and obviously dealing with the after effects from that. So I think that, like a lot of those trials that compare the two, it's that you have more of a dropout after surgery. Right. And so I wonder if that's what's driving the big delta there.
I think so. I mean, yeah, this suggests that early initiation of Keytruda, getting only 3 doses in, is significant in reducing recurrence risk.
Right. And you got to figure your immune system is going to be most primed to fight back when it's not also dealing with
trying to heal
from a surgery and things like that.
That's a good point.
So, yeah, it's interesting. Hypothesis generating.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, if you look at even the neoadjuvant or preoperative data for lung, the response rates weren't extremely high for immunotherapy, but it did lead to, I think at a minimum, lower recurrence with preoperative, even for lung. And that goes with the same kind of thought, is that you're giving therapy and not delaying it, and that you might respond to immunotherapy better earlier before undergoing surgery, but still the response rates weren't that high. I think it was in the 20 to 30% range. So, but yeah, this is interesting because a lot of the melanoma we see is sometimes in the postoperative setting, and it encourages everyone who treat cancer, the surgeons and us and radiation doctors, to talk about these patients early, before moving on with the treatment plan.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's should be, and unfortunately it's not, but sort of the standard of a multidisciplinary tumor board or discussion prior to initiating treatment.
Right.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Which, in our group, having medical oncology and radiation oncology working so close together in the same office, being able to talk about the case real time, before we're going to see the patient is very helpful. And then, we have surgeons that we have really good relationships with that usually we can have that kind of pseudo tumor board before we see the patient. Mm-hmm. But I would say not all locations have that capability or have that, set up that way. So another real advantage for CSNF.
Boom.
Plug it.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Rick and Danny Show. We really appreciate you guys.
We'll see you next time.